Well, welcome everybody. Jay, Cody, thanks for joining me. It's hard to believe that we're barreling towards October 1st, 2021. Kind of wondering what happened to January of 2021, but that's in the distant rearview mirror. Here we are getting ready to start the fourth quarter. And normally in the fourth quarter, we got the Blues kicking off their season and hopefully the Cardinals in the playoffs, but we're not here today to talk about that. I want to talk today about these magical open enrollment periods. And I know we have an open enrollment period for our employees, our clients who are employees from their employers, as well as for our retired clients. Many of them have open enrollment for Medicare. So let's start with the employee benefit package, and I guess our own employees here at MSMF, as well as our clients who are employees. I think anymore, Cody, we see a lot of employers offering a wide variety of benefits to their employees. And I know you do a lot of work with clients on an individual basis, as well as with employer groups, actually. And I'm just curious, from your perspective, what would you look at probably the top 2, 3, 4 most important employee benefits that we want to make sure our clients are maximizing?
Yeah, Mark. So, when it comes down to October and you have the open enrollment, you want to be looking at the big spenders on your benefits that you have. So it's going to be your health insurance. Most likely that premium amount's going to change. Is it the best fit for your lifestyle? Have you had a life-changing event where maybe you need to look at maybe a high deductible plan versus more of a lower deductible? Obviously, there's a give and take with premium cost on that. You want to also look at how much you're using your vision and dental. Are there different package options for that as well? You want to take a look at your health or your life insurance. Usually you get 1 times pay up to 4 times pay, and it's usually the least expensive option that you have. Also take a look at disability. So especially if you're new to the employer, where this is maybe your first time that you have the option to choose it, make sure that you're choosing that option, or you're looking at what's available to you, because this is your one chance that you get to get in without going through underwriting. And if you have long-term care available to you, even though you might be young and it's way off in the distant future that you might not ever use it, again, group policies have such low premiums for the most part that it's really good to look into it, because sometimes when you've had the policy and you move on to maybe a different work environment, that you can it's portable, that you get to take it with you and you get to keep those low premiums that continue.
Absolutely. Thanks, Cody, because I would say those are certainly the big 4. Jay, there are a lot of other benefits. Cody kind of alluded to dental, there's vision, prepaid legal, all sorts of stuff. And there's a little bit of alphabet soup. We have, some plans have an FSA, some have an HSA, some have both. Maybe unpack that for us a little bit and demystify what are those, and I guess why as wealth managers who help clients with their financial blueprints, why we like those plans so much for our clients.
Cool. So to really talk about FSAs and HSAs, both of those are going to be spending accounts, right? And so they're different ways to save up a little bit and spend it in different ways. And the most important part about those, or maybe not the most important, but what we like as a financial planning portion of it, is they're usually tax incentivized somehow too. Mm-hmm. So let's start with like the flexible spending account, the FSA. With that one, there's really 2 primary types of FSAs. One is going to be a healthcare FSA, in which case for that one, and they all have a max, we're not going to go through numbers today, let's keep it high level, right? In which case you can use that max that you put into it, or however much, to pay out-of-pocket medical expenses. So one strategy that I often like is, if you know what your deductible is, maybe put that much aside, and then that way you've kind of covered all of your expenses tax-free when it comes to any type of healthcare stuff. On the flip side, there's also a secondary FSA called Dependent Care FSA, where you can use tax-free money to pay for certain types of child care coverages. So daycare, certain types of after-school stuff. So now you're talking about hey, however much you put in there, if you already know you're going to spend it towards daycare especially, well, now it's tax-free portion of it. So that's something I personally use right there, is the dependent care one. So, and then with those, you can also work and coordinate with an HSA. Now, for an HSA, you have to have a high deductible plan to qualify for that. You can't just open an HSA. But what's nice there is you get to take it with you. The FSA, you have to really monitor from year to year, put it in there, know how much you're going to use, because at the end of the year, if you don't use it, you lose it. HSA, whatever you put in there, it's really flexible. You take it with you. So that's the health spending account. I keep saying saving, the health spending account. What I really like about that one, though, is it's triple tax deferred. What's that mean? Well, you get to lower your taxes when you put the money in. As long as you use it for a health care expense, it's tax-free there, and it can grow tax-free as well. So triple tax deferred. So anytime you have those options, it's definitely worth taking a look at. If you want to call us and kind of talk through what works best for you, happy to take a look at it. But 3 types of accounts that are wonderful.
Yeah, so real quick on the HSAs, Cody, to Jay's point, kind of triple tax benefits there. We can invest inside those accounts inside the plan. They're going to give you a list of investment options. Is that how that works?
Yeah, so usually you go, a lot of them get set up through a bank, and with the bank, it's obviously sometimes cash investment alternatives. But there are alternatives that you can get through, and I forget what the minimum requirement is, but you have to have a certain funding limit to where you actually get access to like mutual funds and equities. So, if you got a long time to let it grow and you're starting young and you really want to, save up with your HSA, it could be a good benefit to look into investments for that.
Great. Cool. Jay, I know, I guess it was a couple of years ago, we developed a checklist for our clients who are going through kind of their benefit elections on an annual basis. You want to talk a little bit about that checklist we have available to everyone?
Yeah, so with that, we actually coordinated with Sones Benefits, our sister firm here, to really say, hey, if someone's going to be going through their open enrollment, what kind of things do they need to be thinking about? So it was even more than our knowledge. It was really firm collective knowledge to go through and put it together. So and it asks really great questions around, have you thought about funding this? Have you thought about this option? Are you maximizing your life insurance like Cody was talking about? And just maybe making sure that you've thought about every different type of option that you have. And again, happy to meet with all of our clients and kind of walk through it if you have questions around what you're looking at.
Sure. And obviously, if we don't have the answer with our benefits, our sister benefit firm, Sonus, down the hall, we can always get the answer, right? So, Cody, I know that we could spend literally an hour going through this, but maybe let's talk about our retired clients and when they're eligible for Medicare. We got some alphabet soup over there too, right? Maybe if you could just unpack for us what the alphabet soup is in the Medicare options and how those work.
Yeah, so it really works the same way that when you're in Medicare, you have an open enrollment period, and this is your chance that you're not locked in, that you can make changes to Medicare. You have your A, B, and D. So your A being the hospital, your B being your preventive care or your doctor visits, and D being the drug plan. Or a lot of people will go the C route, which is what you're probably used to with employee benefits, where all that is kind of combined into one. It's kind of like a PPO plan. But just because you're in the plan right now doesn't mean you can't change it during the open enrollment period. Or if you want to go from the supplemental to maybe an advantage plan, maybe that works better for your lifestyle, or vice versa, this is going to be the time to do it.
Cool. Final thoughts?
No, I think we covered it all. I would say that, when you're looking through your open enrollment period, remember, especially if you got married or a lifestyle change, that you kind of want to go through all your different options. Just because you didn't pick it last year doesn't mean that it shouldn't be something that you should look at this year. And, and while you're at it with your retirement plans, you might as well look at your beneficiaries and make sure they're labeled how you want them to.
Absolutely. The only thing I would say in closing would be 2 things. One, don't let open enrollment at your employer or Medicare open enrollment confuse you. There are specialists here at MSMF across all the sister firms that we can help you get those answers. And then number 2, go Blues. Let's get a good start to the season, and go Cardinals, get in the playoffs. So we'll catch you guys next month. Take care.